All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 17 of our Hard Times Hog Farm Gameplay Series. I am the Ultra Farmer. And as always, we got a pile of work to do in this episode. I'm standing in front of a canola field that needs to be harvested. We also have a wheat field that we harvested last episode that we got to get that field prepped, ready for winter. There's already weeds growing on it. Like always, we have we have thousands of pig mouths that need to be fed. We got to continue to making pig food, and hopefully, if we get to it in this episode, we're going to even be harvesting some corn. So, let's get into everything. Let's get into chores, and let's get into episode 17. Okay, so first thing, like I just mentioned, we have a canola field that is just itching to be harvested. There is some crop destruction on this field, a little bit more than we kind of thought. Apparently a twister has just went through, and this destruction was done before, but we got hit a little bit right through here. Look at this. Look at this. Absolute mayhem. It tore through basically everything. I don't know exactly where it touched down, but it came through and it tore up all this, which is crazy. And so we're going to lose a little bit of yield on that, but that's okay. Let's get back into this mode. Our potential harvest on this is going to be 58,000 liters, which is, pretty good. We're really ahead in canola, so it's not too, it doesn't matter too much, but hopefully we still get a good harvest off of this. I have sold our other combine. We had a Claus combine that I decided to sell. We got about 50 grand for that combine. I'm just going to set a worker to start working on this field. As you can see, the weeds are already coming through. But I sold that combine and I sold the headers along with it, just because we're not really going to need it as long as we continue to stagger our planting season between the canola and the wheat. So I just got to kind of watch for that, which is pretty easy to do, to be honest. We are just going to plant both in September. So I will be planting the canola in September, and I will also be planting wheat in September. I used to do my canola in August, but last year I just by chance did it in September, got them done both, and it pushed the growing season back 1 month so that our harvest was in August, and it made our wheat a harvest in July. Blah blah blah. Jeez, lose my train of thought there for a second. So I'm going to continue to do that. So we just need one combine, and that John Deere combine is really good. We got a good set of headers for it, and it holds quite a bit. So what I want to do now, this is just going to kind of stay our yard tractor slash. I'm going to keep the narrow tires on here, so just in case I forget to do something with fertilizing or weed work, we were able to get across the fields without doing anything with the crop destruction. 150,000 liters of slurry in there, so I'm going to let that fill for a second. I'm going to spin around and I'm going to grab this trailer and just head up to that canola field so that we're ready to go as we start pulling the canola off. Geez, we're almost going to need one more tractor, dare I say it. Dare I say it. Just to be doing some extra field work as we go. Okay, so this field, yeah, it needs rolling. Yeah, but we've kind of been skipping rolling lately. Being lazy, I guess, a little bit with it, but also it just doesn't really add much of a yield bonus, and we don't really got a big set of rollers. Maybe if a big set of rollers came in the store, but I can't believe this twister just tore right through our farm. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Luckily no one was injured. All the pigs seem fine. But I gotta go through and I want to fix all these dead spots as well. So we're gonna have to grab the plow at some point and go through and kind of just hit all these dead spots, get them cleared off. But the main thing will be getting everything harvested, and I'm going to kind of do some laps around the farm, getting both this slurry jumped into the production facility and then dumping some manure in as well. And I'm going to be going around getting some pig food and stuff going. Oh, slurry's not accepted here. That is a lie. That is a lie. Okay, yeah, so we'll get this dropped in, and like I said, our corn is right ready to be harvested as well. It's going to be ready to go in October. So Next month will be basically we'll be focused on planting and getting the fields and stuff ready to go, and then right after that, if we might be able to get into corn harvesting, we might be able to. Not 100% sure, but we might be able to. The main thing is going to be getting the canola harvested, but I don't know if we'll get to corn. I hope we will, but I don't know exactly how everything will pan out rather. So let's get this. I want to get this slurry tanker just kind of put out of the way for right now. And then I'm going to hook onto this claws trailer. And we're going to pull some manure around. We don't got to really pull all of it in. I just don't like when that barn gets, or that manure heap gets too out of control. Because then I got to do a ton of laps around here getting it cleared out. So I figure we just do a couple loops here. What do we got in there? 94,000. Okay, so if we do a couple trailer fulls, this trailer will hold 22,000 liters, or 22,500. I think. I've used it how many times? You should know by now. Yeah. And there's nothing here for a change, so we can just spin right around, which is kind of nice. Dump this in the production facility, and then, yeah, we'll get some food and stuff figured. We are out of corn, so we're going to have to buy pig food, which is fine because we're still just making a good amount each month off of the slurry and the manure that it basically pays for quite a bit of pig food. I've been hovering right around that $1 million mark, and so we're actually at 1,090,000, which means basically each month I've been kind of spending, just trying not to go below the $1 million mark, and maybe we could just do some laps right here. It's like nothing like using the trailer for manure and pig food right after one another. Jeez, where did I totally went the wrong way there. Okay, so this trailer though, I know that we need to remove an extra 7,000 to make it fair. It's $1,000 a liter, so if anyone's wondering why we do that, the game only charges us 15,000 out of that nozzle, but if you buy it from the store, it's $1,000 a liter. So I always take off a little bit extra money just to keep it fair. I don't want to cheat anything with money. That's for sure. I like to keep it all just the way it should be. I mean, I actually think it should be like 7,250 or something I take off, but I'm not that worried about it, you know what I mean? Let's spin around here. I'm going to go grab another load of manure. I'm just going to kind of keep going back and forth. I'm just watching to the top right-hand corner of my screen to see if we're going to get the notification that that combine is about 80% full. I guess we could go up there and just take a look and see. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to wait. I want to catch this. I want to catch it when he finishes this headland though, and get a grain dump out of the combine, so we don't get caught trying to go in the middle of the field or something. This tractor's just plugging along nicely on this field. I bet you that tractor had a heck of a time pulling that hill. I bet you that hill's pretty torquey. All right, let's spin around. Run into the cedar, no big deal. I'll straighten that out after. But not too bad. We had a good harvest of wheat for anyone who missed it last episode, and then we also got a ton of straw pulled off, so much so that I couldn't even fit any more into our like straw holding facility there. So it's just kind of hanging out in that wagon right now. Okay, the AI worker's 80% full. So when he spins the corner here, oh, will he make it to the corner? Yeah, he will. Okay, I'm just gonna keep going, plugging away with chores over here. But yeah, that straw will just have to hang out in that forage wagon for a little bit. However, I am gonna try and dump some into the barn here as soon as kind of we get done doing these routines here with the manure. But again, the main thing is I want to get that canola field good to go. And I'm excited to harvest the corn and see how much corn we got. I'm excited to do that because then we'll have our full, like I set this plan up to have 3 fields with corn, 1 big field of wheat, and 1 big field of canola. And I thought that would be good for our farm to be to be able to, the fields would produce enough grain that I would be able to produce enough pig food for like a full year, like a full season till I was able to harvest those fields again. And so once the corn is harvested, we'll be able to see this plan go into motion. Let's just go into the production facilities right now. So if I come into the pig food column, we got 91,000 liters of canola in there. We have 0 liters of corn. That's what we're waiting to harvest. 24,000 liters of potatoes, which doesn't really matter because we're kind of able to produce that just kind of whenever we want from the greenhouses. And the wheat, we got just about 70,000 liters. So the main thing will be corn, if we can do that. And as you can see, corn is the majority and wheat of our recipe. And the canola is the least. This, I believe, has changed, though. The corn used to always be the most, and the canola there was less, and or sorry, the wheat and canola was less. I don't know why this has changed. As far as I can remember, AI worker has a full tank. Okay, I should have been paying attention more instead of chinwagon, but that's actually not too bad. That it's right there. I don't want to run over the field. We gotta back up some more here. Jump in the cab real quick. Okay. Sit right there. And we'll spin this guy around. If we can get turned around here. Oh yeah. So this combine will hold 14,000, I think it's 14,100 liters. I believe that's what it is. We'll see in 1 second. I'm just going to keep going and doing some chores there. It'll take a second to get all that green dumped out of there. One thing I want to check, though, just as a flyby here, is just to see, does it tell me how much manure is in here? 34,000 liters. Okay, we got more than enough manure. We don't have to put any more into that into that greenhouse. That's Load's greenhouse, and then there's Brucey's barn. I've been naming stuff after subs that just do lots of comments and help out lots of the channel, so shout out to the boys. In our other gameplay series, our barn is named after Britters and Susie B for the silos, because those are apparently the only 2 ladies that watch this channel, which is hilarious. And if anyone didn't know that, I actually looked at the demographic, and it tells me who's watching this channel, like roughly. It's like, but it said that it was 99.8% male demographic watching this channel, 0.2%. And we found the 2 ladies, Susie B and Britters. So shout out to the ladies. All right, let's get this dumped in, and then the combine is going to be ready to go here. Yep, 14,100. That's exactly what I thought. All right, let's get this worker back going. Hopefully this doesn't jam out the world. The AI workers are like finicky. Sometimes it just seems like they'll just start back up, and other times they start doing 360s in the middle of the field, and we don't really know what's going on. Let's watch this guy pull this field. I bet you, or pull this hill. I bet you he goes down to a crawl. 4 miles an hour is my guess. Yeah, these hills are pretty crazy. That's one thing to try and account for when you're picking equipment. Like these, I'm pretty sure these cultivators require like, is it 350 horse or something like that to pull them? Yeah, look at how slow this is going up this hill. He didn't drop down to 4 though. Is he gonna? Holding steady at 5. Nice. Not bad. 6 miles an hour as he crests that hill right on. All right, let's get some more pig food now that we've got the manure and stuff moved around. Okay, which way did I go last time? All right, I always got to remember to go not left. Okay, we got to pull off for 7,000. It's always 7,000 with this trailer, and I got to pull 11,000 off with that other trailer. Now, it says, like, when I go into that production facility, it says buying station cheap, but the regular buying station is so much money. Like, it's almost double what the actual price is. Like, this, it would have cost me like 40 grand for this trailer full of food. It's not accurate at all. So the cheap one I found is the closest to the actual price, and then we just have to minus a little bit more. And again, I like to stay around that $1 million mark, and the barn will hold 700,000 liters. So as long as I'm kind of over that $1 million mark, I like to just keep filling until we hit that point, and then call it good. Yeah, we'll call that good. So we put 3 full trailer pulls of this in. All right, let's dump this in there, and let's just see what's in that barn for food. I'm just going to tab over and just see how this combine's doing. It's 35% full, not too bad. He'll probably spin around and then catch this little strip. And this guy's doing good. As soon as we're done doing chores with this thing, we're going to hook onto the plows, and then we'll go try and get some of that field prep done. Okay, we've got 117,000 liters of food in there. Yeah, we dumped. That seems about right. Now, I think that's about what they're going through each month, so we'll kind of have to watch that and just see after this month. This is like, the pigs are going through a ton of food. A ton of food. And they're not like, let's go look and see what we got in here. A bunch of them are 2 months old, 5 months old. Like these ones that are 15 and 16 months old, like these are mature pigs. These guys are still quite young, so they're gonna eat, like soon they're gonna be getting to this point, and they're gonna be eating even more food, like in 1 more month. 200 there. Yeah, it's gonna be pig food city. It'll probably come just in time for the corn to be harvested, and then we might be able to make enough pig food. Maybe. What I want to do though is I want to come in here and I want to turn the productivity of this up. Oh, but it's not going to be able to change. Oh, that's not the right one anyways. That's sorghum. Okay, yeah, that doesn't matter. Let's kick this off and let's go hook onto our plows. This tractor is a little bit underpowered to run these plows, but we're not doing like much intense plowing, so it'll probably be okay. Let's go get hooked on. We gotta fix those planters are just kind of sitting in there crooked. But let's hook onto these and let's go try and fix some dead spots in that field. A tornado. I can't believe a tornado tore through this area. Luckily our barns didn't get all messed up. Alright, let's go see. Now this field also has its first stage of fertilizer on it. I did that last episode. I gotta kind of zoom out here so I can see these spots. There we go. Yeah. This tractor's a little underpowered for it, but for what we gotta do, it'll be okay. Now this is the only way I've found to fix these spots. If anyone has a better idea, like it doesn't seem to work with a cultivator. I don't know if disc harrows or anything would really be better. This is just like a pretty easy way to do it, since these things are just, they hook right on the back of the tractor. I think this is the best way to fix it. Probably, to be honest, in the next gameplay series that I do, I'm gonna turn off disaster, destruction, because I did it all in this gameplay series and another one. And it was just such, yeah, I'm probably gonna turn that setting off. Probably. Unless we do like a really hyper realistic gameplay series. I've been waiting to do a really realistic gameplay series. I was hoping the map No Man's Land would come out. I don't like, it was in FS22. I never played this game in like FS19, so I don't know if it was in that one. I had seen a couple a couple other farm sim content creators who had played on that map, and they had, the way they talked is like it was in other games like as well. So I was hoping that it's kind of something that like comes out in each of the farming simulator series, or each year the game comes out, because that is like for sure one of my favorite maps. Like it's just a nothing map, a wide open map, but I just really liked it. I don't know. I really liked the forestry part of it. I liked, it's just such a sweet map. Okay, that guy is 80% full. Let's fix this patch, and then let's see if we can go get some grain pulled out and dumped into our trailer. Let's leave this tractor parked right there. We should hopefully not run in. No one will run into us. Okay, perfect. This is going to work out good. We'll let this combine spin around, and then we'll be able to catch him on the next pass down. Alright, let's get set up here. Get set up, and we'll get some more canola out of this, and we'll go back to fixing those dead spots. Alright, we gotta get lined up here. What I kind of like to do sometimes is like, yeah, just kind of jump in front of them a little bit there. It's like, it'll block them for a second. We'll get all this just dumped out, and then we'll just back it out of the way, and we can go back to doing what we're doing. Sometimes I think it's a little bit easier. Sometimes I don't really know if it's fully emptied. Like, you can kind of see on the top when the hopper starts to go down, but when it's still harvesting, it's like filling with more grain, so you can't really tell sometimes when it's like fully emptied. This way we know. There we go. Okay, good to go. Let's get back in this tractor and let's keep fixing some of these dead spots. There's like a bunch. This must have been another tornado or something that went through, like maybe at a different time. Maybe it wasn't like as strong as one, because most of the dead spots look the same. They're like these kind of like crop circle looking ones. This is like strips down the field. Yeah, this tractor's not really built for this size of plow. I think technically this plow you're supposed to have about 350 horse, I think, is what it calls for. Now you can still kind of use it. Obviously you can see me doing it. Let's see if it gets that little spot. Yeah, these ones are like almost harder to deal with. Oh yeah, we're definitely not going to be plowing up that hill with this thing. Jeez, I should have just plowed the field at this point. Good lord. Okay, not too bad. Not too bad at all. All right, I'm gonna kind of keep going, doing what I'm doing here. I'll bring you back as we start getting a little bit closer to finishing up that canola field, and then we'll kind of go from there. We can get started on the field prep for that canola field, as we're gonna have to be planting both next month, both the wheat and the canola. So I'll kind of have to not quickly like cultivate that field, but definitely as soon as I can get cultivators on it, I will. But even next month, like when we're into September and we are planting the field, we could still have a set of cultivators or something out prepping that field. Although saying that, I'm going to need two tractors. I need a large tractor to pull the cultivators, and I need a large tractor to pull the seeding unit. So maybe we'll have to buy another tractor. Yeah, maybe. I don't really want to... Well, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I guess we could go buy another tractor. It just sucks because we only really need two large tractors, like, once in a while. But I guess that's just the nature of farming. You don't need a combine all that often. Plus, in this series, we had a goal that we would just buy everything. So that's kind of just like a weird thing that usually it would be nice to just lease something. But, okay. Yeah, I'll kind of keep bringing you back as everything progresses, and we'll get these fields cleared off, and we'll get prepped to plant next month. Okay, I'm just in the combine here. I'm just going to do the last little bit of this field, just kind of myself over in the tornado zone. It might just go a little bit quicker. Sometimes these zones over here, like the big open areas, it's fine with an AI worker, I found, because like they just do their thing, they get spun around. But when they get into the kind of like, I'll say these like funny areas over here, if you will. They do like, 25 3-point turns just to get this little section done. And sometimes it's easier if we just go in and do it ourselves, kind of do some loop-de-loos and get it all sorted. Jeez, look where this tornado tore through. I think I'll probably just plow this whole kind of area over here. I think. I went through, I've been going through with the plow, kind of doing some spots on this field that was damaged. But since over here was all kind of chewed up pretty bad, I'll probably just plow this whole kind of area. Good lord. Look at that twister. Freaking Helen Hunt will be out here chasing down twisters here soon if those keep coming through. Look at the trees got torn down. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was an F5 that came through here. Look at those trees. I didn't even notice that before. I'm not joking. Oh my god. Bark, even the bark got ripped off those trees. Oh my goodness. We gotta stop and take a look at this real quick. Oh my. Let's go into this mode here. That field's got some weeds on it, good lord. The neighbor's field took a hit. That's their parsnip field. Unbelievable. That's crazy. Well, let's not run into the headers. That is wild, though. I've never in this game seen like where a twister came through. Unbelievable. Alright, let's jump back in the tractor here. Or in the tractor. Jump back in the combine before anything bad happens. Before I walk into the headers. Let's get this final little spot done here. And then we're going to go to town. We're going to cultivate this field. The other field is done. I just missed a little spot there. Talking about how the AI workers miss things and do three-point turns everywhere. But no stock left behind. That'll be that's more for our corn, but same for the canola. Oh my god, there's a stalk left behind there too. Okay, I was like not joking there. I was more looking at the tornado zone for a second when I missed that. That's crazy. What happens if that goes through the farm? Like, do you think our farm buildings get destroyed? What would happen to Buck? We can't have him getting hurt. He's the leader of that barn. Alright, let's get this dumped into the trailer. I wasn't really well, we did a full trailer full, and then so it's going to be a full trailer, which is 37,500 liters, and then whatever gets dumped into this right now. So let's just see. Let's see what we end up with on this fine canola harvest. Man, I can't believe those trees got ripped apart. I had no idea. Like, I'm not joking. I've been playing this game, quite a bit, right? Obviously, putting out hour episodes every day. That's a lot of game time, and I haven't seen that yet. Does it only happen on certain maps? Does anyone know? I don't know. Let me know. Okay. Canola final tally about 57,875 or 675 liters. So it's pretty accurate to what the potential yield quantity tells us when we were looking at the field before. I got that field all fixed with the dead spots, which, geez, I almost should have just plowed that entire field, if I'm being honest, because good lord, was there a lot of dead spots. Okay, let's bring this guy. First of all, let's put the pipe in and let's fold this unit up. Now, I had cut some trees. So that we could get up into the field here with the headers on. I do have a header trailer, which, we could always be taking this off and using the header trailer. It's kind of a little bit easier just to do this, though, to be honest. Since this field has nothing growing in it, we'll always kind of be able to just pull around this way. Yeah, there's so many dead spots in that field. Cornfields. We got cornfields to harvest real soon, which I can't wait for. So let's bring this in. Let's drop these headers off. Right there is perfect. And we got to get a little bit of fuel in this thing. I got to stay in the habit of getting everything fueled up, just so it's good to go for when we need it for corn. I wonder how much fuel this thing actually holds. I never really paid too much attention to it. Okay, there we go. Let's go back into the spot. Now I have a mod installed, which is nice, and it's called Auto Wash. So it'll wash the equipment every night for us. And then I also have a mod installed. It's basically like auto maintenance, and so each night everything that needs any type of maintenance gets done. Let's just jump over into this thing real quick, and let's just head up to the tornado zone. I think that was it. I'm just gonna zoom way out here for a second, just so I can see. Yeah, we're basically gonna have to do this whole spot. So what I might do, I think what I'm gonna do, it'll be okay. Let's set a worker going on this, and let's start doing some plowing over here. I really wish we almost had a different tractor for this, just because it's not really gonna. Well, it doesn't really matter. We'll only do a couple passes here. I still can't believe that tornado just ripped all that down. Wonder if I can see it. Yeah, I'll just kind of stick in this little pattern here, and I think that'll probably be pretty good. I can't really tell if... It's like you can tell when you're really far away. Like, you know, you can see the spots on the field that kind of glow a little bit, like where I missed it with the plow. Yeah, it looks like we're doing good. I'll just keep kind of going out to right about this area. This won't take too long to get done. Yeah, I think like in the next series or something like that, I won't do. Yes, we can tell we need a little bit more at the end. But I think I'll probably turn like some of this like weather damage stuff off. I think. I'm not too sure. It all just kind of depends. I wonder if it changes per like what map you're on. Like if the other maps are more prone to like twisters or not. Like kind of like in real life where like where I live, for example, there's not like tornadoes. It's that like that's not something that happens. It has happened, but it's like a really rare thing. Like tornadoes don't usually happen in my neck of the woods. Now, if you live like again, I'm kind of speaking out of school, so I don't really know for sure, but like is it like Oklahoma and stuff like that? Like I feel like those places would have more twisters. What place in the states, what area in the states has the most like tornado area? It's got to be like those big farming community type things. Like, is it like in Nebraska? You know, do those cornfields get hit hard? Is it like Iowa? There's lots of corn farming in Iowa. Probably corn farming and well, usually the soybeans is always where corn farms are, usually. But yeah, like where in the states do the most tornadoes seem to touch down, or where's like the biggest risk for tornadoes? That's what I would like to know. Okay, this area I think is going to be pretty good. Again, we probably should have just plowed this whole friggin' field. Not too bad. Not too bad. That's the twister zone down there. Actually, it looks like, I don't know if this is just a shadow, but I'm going to hit this little spot right here as well. Just to keep all our yield bonuses up the best we can. Okay. What if I go into this mode? Couple spots right there. That's not too bad. Look how many I had to fix in this field. Good lord. Okay, well, we got to pull across this field to take these plows back, so I'll hit these little spots just because why not? And then we'll come back and we'll jump in the cultivators and we'll finish cultivating this field. Maybe we'll do it together. And after that, our chores are basically done for this month, and we're gonna get into next month, and then we'll be ready to plant. So I kind of want to get this cultivating and stuff now, so then we can just use our large tractor next month just to do all the planting and get both this canola field and our wheat field planted. And you know, then we're getting ready. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we get into cutting some corn this episode. I really hope. But obviously, once we jump into September, we got to do a bunch of chores and stuff each month around the farm. Keep getting the pigs fed. Make sure the slurry and stuff gets moved around. We got to. I said I was going to dump some straw into that barn, so we still got to do stuff like that. And yeah, so let's drop these off and then let's go cultivate that field. Okay, welcome to a beautiful, kind of foggy September morning here. I'm just pulling around and I'm going to hook onto our planter or our seeder and head out into the fields and get some wheat planted and some canola planted. So let's get backed in here, run into this. What do we got hooked on here first? Canola? Sure, we could go start on the canola fields. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to set a worker to start on the canola field, and then we're going to do some chores around the farm. Just kind of our normal slurry, manure, you know, the normal stuff. So let's set a worker to do the canola out here. So again, we'll get our canola in on this month, and that means we'll be harvesting it in August. And we'll get our wheat in as well, and then that means we'll be harvesting it in July, which is just exactly what I want to do. Okay, let's spin around here with our slurry tanker. And let's get some slurry pulled out of the hog barn. And we also want to go through and see how much food those little buggers ate. 130,000 liters of slurry, crazy. Okay, let's jump back into first person mode here and let's run over to this barn and see. Okay, so they still have 100% health. They ate basically 110,000 liters, 112,000 liters of food. Okay, okay. Not too bad. We're at just about 1.1 mil. So again, we made about another, 80 grand through the, well, no, actually not that much. We made about 60 grand. Yeah, with manure and stuff. So let's get some food dropped in for those pigs. Those pigs are going to cost us a lot of money, but only for about a month or so, because as soon as we can start harvesting corn, we're going to be back in the New York groove. I swear, no matter which way I go, it's always the wrong way, and I'm always at the very... Okay, so this trailer means we have to pull off, an extra 11,000. I know that. Oh, I also... Yeah, that guy can just go out there. We'll dump this food in, and we'll start doing some rounds here with our claws trailer as well. Dump that in. Let's get this slurry tanker pulled over, and then we can hook onto our other trailer and start pulling manure around as well as doing this pig food. Those pigs, though, my goodness, they eat a lot of food. They eat a ton of food, which is, I don't know how many times I'm going to say that. Probably I should just quit saying it because it's just, it is what it is. But what's also nice is the barn is completely full, so any offspring that they have are automatically sold. So we'll get little flushes of cash with that as it progresses. That's a mod that I have installed. I believe it's called Excess Animals Sold. I don't know if it's obviously on PC because that's what I'm on. I don't know if it's on console. Probably not. I don't know for sure, but probably not. But it's a good mod to have. I was thinking about doing a video. I don't know if it's something you guys would want to see, so maybe let me know in the comment section below. I was gonna do a video of just kind of all the mods that I do have installed with most of my gameplay series. Like for this one in Tassie Farms, the mods that I have installed are basically the same, except I have some obviously mods for cow barns and dairy stuff in that gameplay series in the Tassie Farm one that I don't have logged into this one. And same with, vice versa. I've got pig food stuff and other productions like that, pig barns and stuff in this series that I wouldn't have in that one. Makes sense. But for the most part, I could do one on like kind of all the other. I did a video on my best gameplay mods that I think should be in every series. Like I use them constantly. Things like the lumberjack mod and easy dev controls. Additional field info is a really good one. Click to switch. I love click to switch. If you notice, I do that where I right click on my mouse and I can just click on whatever tractor I see and I can switch to that unit. I think that's a really good mod. I guess I could go through a few more that we have. Let's go. Let's fill the skin. So this is easy dev mod. I push F12 and I'm able to do a whole bunch of stuff on here that makes it a little bit easier. Mostly just for doing these series. What's another mod that I have that I think is really good? I have the financing mod, which is a good one for you can finance equipment. I have one it's supposed to give me more used vehicles, although sometimes it seems like it works and sometimes it seems like it doesn't, if that makes sense. I don't know. Sometimes it shows a whole bunch of used vehicles in there and then sometimes there's none. So I don't really know about that. What other good mods do I have? Oh, the garage menu mod. If you push like P on your keyboard, you won't see this little icon, but I have it. It's an organized kind of zone of like what's on the farm for equipment, rather than just using this menu. Where is it? Not that one. Like, where is it? I don't ever go into it. Vehicles, rather than just using this list, which I don't like. I don't like this at all. Because sometimes you can see something like this and you don't know if it's like a mulcher or a cultivator. Like I obviously know this is a planter, but sometimes it can get really, it's just annoying to go through this. I personally have found, and I like that other one a bit better. That was like standard in FS22, and for some reason they changed that. I really don't know what the thought process behind that was. Um, it seems way worse, and I just like the other one much more. Let's pull off another 11. That's 110,000. I wonder if I've ever done that accidentally. Okay, we're under $1,000,000. No big deal. It is what it is. Let's click to switch this one over here. Let's spin around. We still got a hole in the fence because there's pigs running wild, hanging out by the corn headers. Little buggers. Let's go drop this manure into the production facility. And then once we get this pig food dropped in, we'll go check on our seeder and just see how things are going on that field. Just drop this in. Oh no, I gotta pull up more. There we go. Alright, just drop this pig food in. So yeah, the full barn, I want to check their maturity levels as well. Let's go see what we got. There's still a bunch of little piglets there, so we got a bunch that are 3 months, 6 months. Okay, so these are like fully grown, so to speak. I don't really know, other than their value. I don't know if a 7-month pig eats more than a 6-month pig and a 16 or a 17-month pig. I don't know that, but really we only got, so there's 100 there, 150 there. So that's like 250, 350, 450, 550, 600. There's about 600 pigs that aren't at like their full grown size. So I wonder what their full food capacity will be. Probably around like 120 to 150,000 liters of food per month. That's a lot of food. Good Lord. Okay, let's fill this one more time. Let's fill this one more time and just see. We'll see how much they go through. We really got to keep track of what they go through each month. I'm gonna have to write it down to really keep tabs on it so I can fully know. Now, the only thing that kind of sucks, well, because our pig food making station will only make 100,000 liters per month. So we'll have to buy a few months or buy a few loads and then just make the 100,000 each month to stay on top of it. Maybe even buy one trailer full each month and dump the 100,000. Yeah, that's a lot of pigs that we got to feed. All right, this. Okay, we got 153. I'm gonna put 154,000 liters in there right. All right, let's go check on our cedar and see how they're doing out here. All right, not too bad. Not too bad, although I think are those dead spots like still? I plowed over these. Man, I don't really know. I cleared all these spots off though. Did I not? Like we went through it with the plow. You can still see marks where I plowed it. I wonder if that's just field damage like from over the month, like because all the tornado damage is still there. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. The field damage is like a bit weird sometimes. Okay, I'm going to keep going planting this field, and then obviously we're going to swap over onto the wheat field. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably bring you back once we're a little bit closer, further along down the wheat field. And, you know, like always, there's weeds growing, so I'm going to have to get our weeding unit on these ASAP. I have two of them, so that's kind of what we'll do once both these are planted. As soon as this one's done, I'll set a weeding unit on it, and yeah, we're going to have to do the same on that wheat field. So I'll kind of bring you back as things progress. All right, I'm just pulling back in. I just kind of filled up our planter so that it's full next time we go to use it. I'm going to spin around the barn here and park this thing away. So we got both of our wheat field and our canola field is done, good to go, ready to rock for next year. I've just finished. I think I just got the notification that the weeds are done being pulled off of the second wheat field. It kind of got this jammed in there a little weird. Oh my god. Okay, here we go. There we go. It's a little bit tight back there. I don't know who built this barn or who placed it there. Okay, let's tab over. Yeah, this guy is all finished up. So we should have the weeds and everything taken care of on both fields. And both fields are planted. I did not roll them. I did not roll them again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still just kind of being lazy about it, to be honest. It just doesn't seem worth it. We just got kind of a small set of rollers. I don't feel like going to buy a bigger set. I think a bigger set's going to require us to get a larger tractor. I think. Let's just go check, because I keep thinking that, but I actually haven't went and looked. That needs 350. No, we could get away with it with our tractor. We could. I'm just being cheap on buying a $140,000 set of rollers for 2%, 2.5% yield bonus, you know? Either way, it doesn't seem worth it for me. It doesn't seem worth it to take the time to do it. These things only pull at 7 miles an hour, and the money, like, well, how long will it take for that 2.5% to pay for 140 grand? It feels like a long time. So, maybe we'll be the no-roll Hard Times Hog Farm gameplay series. What do you guys think about that? Maybe we should be the keep the pigs in the barn hard time hog farm gameplay series. It's because Buck's a bad example. That's why they all learned bad habits from Buck. So I can't even really blame them. Okay, we've got 150,000 liters of food, 154,000 liters of food, and we will see how everything goes next month. I'll bring you guys back next month, and we will see exactly how much these pigs have eaten. Okay, we are back here. It's a beautiful October morning, although it seems like it's going to rain. Seems like it is raining. Okay. So we've got 20,000 liters left in here, which means they ate about 130,000-ish liters of food. So not too bad. 130,000 liters. When all those other pigs become mature, which will be very close, there's 100 in there, 200 in there. Or sorry, 100 in there, 200, 250, 350, 450, 550, 550 pigs that's still going to go. So we're probably going to be getting close to that 150,000 a month with pigs is probably what's going to happen. And this rain, who knows when this rain is going to let up. Let's go hop in this other tractor to get out of the rain. Oh, I want to hook that back on. 150,000 liters. And we looks like we made a good chunk of money from the slurry last month. We were down, we probably made close to about 100 grand from slurry-ish and the manure, so not too bad. Pull this around and dump it in. Now I want to get started harvesting this corn, but let's go check the rain. Yeah, it's gonna rain till about 10 o'clock-ish. So I think what we're gonna do, I think we're gonna end this episode here, and we will start our corn harvest at the beginning of episode 18. I think is going to be the good plan, to be honest. Rather than starting the all, you know me though, no stock left behind. Harvesting corn is my favorite time of the year, and it'll mean we'll be able to start not having to pay for as much pig food. So I double want to do it, but I think we gotta. It's just going to be quite an adventure, and we're kind of running out of time in this episode. I don't want this episode to run too long, so thank you thank you very much to everybody who's watched this far and who's been with us in these series. I truly appreciate it. Thank you to everyone who's hit that sub, hit that like button, who leaves me a comment, all that stuff. Just know how much I truly appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. This is one of my favorite farms I've ever built. I'm not just saying that. I really, really like this farm. It's been super fun. I always look forward to filming it. Look at these pigs just running. Even though our fences are not secure at all, and we just got pigs running wild. What the hell's going on here? What are you guys doing? Get back in the barn. Unbelievable. Yeah, we don't really have a handle on things around here, but that's okay. That's okay. Everyone's safe on this farm. Sort of. I don't know. They should stay away from my tractor driving. Okay, thanks again so much, guys. I appreciate it like always. I hope you have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. Once this rain quits, and at the beginning of the next episode, we'll get to harvesting this corn. I'm going to go get out of the rain right now. Maybe have a coffee, maybe have some breakfast, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.